Hey everyone, this is Tony Teaches Tech. I'm Tony, and if you've been watching this channel for a while now, you know that I'm obsessed with the GeneratePress theme. It's one of the fastest WordPress themes out of the box, but there are some settings that are often overlooked, people don't even know about, that can actually give you an extra performance boost, make your web pages load faster, and that's what I'm going to go through in this video, show you what those settings are, and objectively show you how much faster they make my web pages. So if that's something you're interested in learning, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to be working with my website, tonyteaches.tech. And because I'm logged in here, I'm detecting scaled images with one of my plugins, EWWW. You can see there are borders around these thumbnails for these images. And the reason is these images are much larger than what you see on the screen, but the theme is scaling them down to a smaller size so that they can fit in the box, the thumbnail, the preview. And that means that we're actually sending much more data than we should be across the internet to our website visitors than we need to. So if you scale the images on the server and send the scaled version to our visitors, that's going to reduce the page size and increase how quickly your web pages will load. So how do we change that in WordPress? How do we use our theme to serve those scaled images by default? So we can actually do that in our WordPress admin dashboard and go into appearance and customize. And again, this is all assuming that you have the GeneratePress theme installed and you're using that. If we go to layout and blog, by default, your media attachment size for featured images in the archive section is full size, okay? And that means that we're going to be sending those full size images, even though they're thumbnails, even though they're small images, we're going to send those as full size images. Let me show you before we change this to something like medium, what the size of my page is. So I'm going to open up a guest window here, and we're just going to go to tonyteaches.tech and see what we're looking at here. So we got a page size of 337 kilobytes. Okay, so let's minimize that for now, and we'll change this from full size to medium size, and you won't be able to tell a difference. These still look the same, they're just scaled down images now, but they're much smaller than they were before. So let's publish those changes. We'll get out of here, go back to our website, and now the detect scaled images option is still on, but you don't see that border around. That's because we're serving smaller images. So let's go back here to our guest window, and what we'll do is just refresh the page. Remember, we saw a page size of 337 kilobytes before. Let's refresh the page and we'll see what we get now. So hit enter. Now we're down to 275 kilobytes. That's a huge jump right away. So what is that? 374 to 275. That's 30%, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen, whatever it is. But right off the bat, that's a good start. There's a couple other settings that I want to change to here that I want to show you about. Let's get out of here, go back into our WordPress admin dashboard. And if you go to appearance and GeneratePress, a lot of you probably, just by default, because you're not familiar with what all of these modules are, turn all of these modules on when you installed GeneratePress from the beginning. If you don't know, most of these, not all of them, but most of them add additional resources to your pages, either via JavaScript or CSS. So let's get rid of some of these modules that we're not using. You don't need to use them. That's why they're modules. If you're not using the features within them, then you can disable them. So I know that I'm not using backgrounds. I'm not using the disable elements module. I'm not using the secondary navigation menu, and I'm not using sections. So for all of those, I'm going to deactivate them. And now those modules won't be loaded when web pages are loaded. So let's open up our guest window again. We were at 275 kilobytes of resources. Let's refresh the page, and now we are down. We are still there. We are still at 275. Let me see if it's a caching thing. Empty page cache refresh. No, it's not. In this case, none of those modules have added any size, but let me just show you what I mean. I think if you're not using menu plus, if we deactivate that, that module has been deactivated. And if we refresh the page, this should drop down just a bit. So yeah, it dropped down by 4 kilobytes, so from 275 to 271. But I am using that module. As you can see up here, my header is a little bit different looking now. So let me turn that back on. Menu plus, activate that. But I think in general, it's just something good that you need to know about. And we can, if we refresh this now that module's activated, it'll go back to the way it looked like before. So something else to consider here as far as improving the performance of your GeneratePress WordPress site. The last setting that I want to talk about here, and I have another video for this setting, is using GeneratePress elements to insert dynamically information into your blog post. So for example, in this web page here, I have this affiliate link disclosure, even though that I don't think there's any affiliate links on here. Right at the top, I did not write this inside of my blog content, like my blog post. This is dynamically inserted in using GeneratePress elements to add that. Same thing down here for my author bio. I did not write this in the blog post. This is dynamically inserted after the content of the blog post. And like I said, I have separate videos for these, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about in appearance and elements. This is part of GeneratePress. I have all of these dynamic hooks that are added into certain parts of my website. And typically, the reason I'm bringing this up right now is typically you would have to install another plugin to achieve a feature like this. But because it's built into the theme itself, you get it for free. Like there's no overhead of installing another plugin and all that extra stuff. That's why, that's another reason why GeneratePress is one of my favorite themes, because it has this feature built into it. So check out some of those videos, implement some of the features that I talked about today, actually all of them if you can. And I know you'll see a performance boost in at least the speed of your website or specific pages if that's the case. So let me know if you have any questions with any of these tips today down in the comments below. I'll do my best to help you out. Check out some of my other GeneratePress videos over here. And if you do, I'll see you in the next video.